A long time. We've always wanted a team there, and Memphis is definitely a hotbed for basketball. And when I was in college, I was hoping that Memphis would get a team so I could stay at home, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But now I'm glad to see a team here.
Now, you see a team here, of course, in Phoenix, but I would imagine your first trip back home is going to be even more special.
Oh, it is. My family members and friends, I think I've ordered 100 tickets already. Probably going to need more, but it's going to be special going back home, playing in the Pyramid, and seeing my family and friends.
I talked to Lorenzen Wright, and he said the first time he remembers seeing you play, of course, was when you were in high school. Do you recall the first time meeting Lorenzen?
Yeah, I do. He had came up on campus to play with us after he had signed with the University of Memphis, and I was amazed at his talent, because we didn't have a lot of big men to come through and play at the university. So I was like, if this guy stays with it, with his work ethic, he'll make it to the league.
So you heard about this kid from Booker T. Washington High School, huh?
Yeah, I really liked the way that he was playing. The thing that I was impressed with was David Vaughn was the center that we had when I was there. He was kind of giving David all he wanted as a high schooler. So I was like, hey, this guy's pretty good.
Now, how about your left knee? How does it feel?
My knee feels great. It's just a blessing for me to be able to be out here on the floor, and I'm just trying to take advantage of it while I'm out there and just play good basketball.
Taking advantage of it, you're averaging better than 20 points a game, and of course Stephon Marbury's over 20 points a game.
Well, you know what? With me starting off with the bad game, the 1 point, only playing the first half, that was kind of embarrassing because that isn't Penny Hardaway basketball. That isn't how Memphis raised me to play basketball. So I have to go ahead and represent the town of Memphis because that's what I'm doing every time I step out on the floor, along with the Phoenix Suns, and now I'm doing better.
And now how about playing alongside Stephon Marbury in the backcourt compared to Jason Kidd?
Well, you know what? It's different because Jason is more of a passer and Stephon is more of a scorer. So, they both bring great things to the game.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, when we come back, the Toyota starting lineups right after these messages.
This evening in the backcourt, Jason Williams and Michael Dickerson. Dickerson struggling from the floor, shooting 25%. Sidney Lowe in his second season at the helm of the Memphis Grizzlies as he continues to tutor the young players of the Memphis Grizzlies. You see his numbers there. He's done an outstanding job early on. And for the Phoenix Suns, this is the way they'll line it up on this night. Starting off in the front court, you see Sean Marion, one of the most young and exceptional talents in the NBA. Tom Gugliotta is back, and in the middle, Jake Voskuhl, acquired recently from the Chicago Bulls. In the backcourt, Stephon Marbury and Penny Hardaway. Over the last 3 games, the backcourt has combined for 51.3 points per game. However, the team is 1-2 during that time, and Scott Skiles is not happy about one thing at all: the way, Hawk, this team has played defense. Last year, a club record for fewest points allowed, 91.8. And right now, the Phoenix Suns are allowing better than 100 points a game.
Yeah, and allowing over 100 points a game. You're not going to win many games, especially in the West where it's so tough. You have to play better defense.
Tom Gugliotta hands it off to Stephon Marbury, picked up by Jason Williams. Here's Sean Marion. He can be electrifying. Jake Voskuhl. Voskuhl, the right-handed hook, of course. Remember the Chicago Bulls and won a national championship at the University of Connecticut. Dickerson won the national championship in 1997 at the University of Arizona. And up until the Diamondbacks winning the World Series as Gasol answers Jake Voskuhl, it was the lone championship owned by the state of Arizona.
Good move by the 2 post guys. I like Phoenix's move to come out and get Voskuhl involved early, just to let the big guy touch the ball.
See pick and roll there, and it leads to Voskuhl heading to the line.
That's one thing Stephon Marbury does so well, and that's come off the pick and drop that little bounce pass in there to the big guys. Lead them perfectly to the hoop, and this time Voskuhl got fouled. And the coaches they said that's something different that he does from Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd usually didn't make that kind of pass, but Stephon does, so the players have to get used to that type of pass coming from him.
What is interesting about Stephon Marbury is that so many people think of him as a scorer, not a passer, yet he was the only player a year ago in the top 10 in points as well as assists in the NBA. And this year, while averaging better than 20 points in the first 4 games of the season, Mike Dickerson knocks down a 3. That's a good sign. Stephon, just to wrap up the point, he's averaging 9 assists.
I always thought of him as a scorer myself, but he does it all, and he's a great talent, and the Phoenix area are very lucky to get him.
How important is it for Michael Dickerson to get off to a solid start? Bosco shows the hit once again.
Hopefully being back in Arizona will sort of just rekindle some of those good vibes and good feelings that he has, and it was, of course, nice to see him knock down that first shot.
Williams, too strong. Dickerson climbs up, board, put back, no. Bosco tears it down.
I like to see Michael in there. We haven't seen much of that this year, so to see him in there grabbing the offensive board and going up, that's a good sign.
Averaging 3.5 boards a game. Battier gets fouled by Bosco. Bosco holding on to all 6 points for the Phoenix Suns. Averaging 4.5 points in just 11 minutes of work. Shane Battier coming off of another solid performance after lighting up the nets, electrifying Minnesota at 22. Against Dallas, Battier had 11. And Gugliotta gets charged with his first, and the team's second.
Well, the coaches seem like they've made an emphasis to get the ball to Pau on the inside against Tom and see how well he's playing defensively. And when you hit your first shot, good move to go back to him again.
This time Gugliotta rips off the pass to Marbury for 2. Gugliotta steps right in the passing lane.
That was great awareness by Gugliotta, because Dickerson was actually open, but Gugliotta saw it and got the steal.
Wow. Tapped up. Marion can get up. He grabs it. Here's Marbury. Dribble drive through the lane. Battier got a piece of it, but the tip on Marion. You always got to keep a body on Sean Marion because he can get up.
You sure do. I mean, for a guy his size, I mean, he has to be one of the quickest jumpers in the league and one of the best offensive rebounders. So whoever's guarding him is going to have to make sure they get a body on him every time the ball goes up and keep him out of there.
Entry pass denied by Bosco. It's Memphis basketball. 7 on the shot clock, and the Grizzlies trailing by 5. Lorenzen Wright, 33 points and 26 rebounds. Career best in both categories. It's a 2. Right foot on the line, and Dickerson has 5 points. So Mike D feeling it early on. 2 or 3 from the floor, which is a great sign considering that he's shooting 25% entering tonight's game. Here's Hardaway in the lane. Doesn't fall, and Lorenzen Wright takes it down.
Jason Williams has been doing that the first 3 games. Really getting into the cracks and finding the big guys, making good passes, and they've been finishing.
When your point guard can get into the lane, good things can happen, Hersey.
You're exactly right. And Williams is one of the best at getting into the lane and finding guys. And if big guys make themselves big and you have a good passer, you're going to get a lot of layups.
Batted away by Wright with 1 on the shot clock. Phoenix will inbound the basketball. Quarter court, near side. Marion. Here's Marbury. Shot clock violation. That's a difficult situation to be in.
It sure is, because it's 1 second up there, but it actually could be less than 1 second. You never really know. But it was still good defense by the Grizzlies. They blocked the shot, so it wouldn't have gotten there anyway.
Dickerson, great look to Wright, who is open on the baseline.
Lorenzen is following up where he left off the other night. Still hot from the field and shooting the ball well.
In the corner, Marion stretching it out. Marion has 4 points, shooting 42% from the field. 1-point game. Williams cut off. Here's Pau showing it from the outside. Gasol and he looked back at Sidney Lowe. He said that he got fouled, and Sidney, and rightfully so, said, don't worry about it. Get back. Get back. What happens? Because Sidney just told Pau to get back, he gets into a defensive position, and he causes a turnover.
You're exactly right. Sidney was right. Get back. Get back on defense, and we'll discuss whatever we need to discuss during the timeout or during the dead ball. But he needs to get back and help his teammates out.
Lorenzen, right, drills it. 10 of 21 on Sunday when he turned 26. What a night for Lorenzen. Tony Delk in. Delk feeds it into the post, and Rodney Rogers outside of Wallace. Here's Delk. He can knock down a three. Pulls up, 12 feet away, drills it.
Instant offense. He comes to the game with one thing on his mind, and that's to shoot the basketball.
Missed last two games because of a strained calf. And you see Jason Williams adding to those numbers right there. His first two. Jake Sakalides pops in and out.
That was good defense by Lorenzen. Evidently, they've scouted Jake Sakalides very well because he played right on that right hand, knowing he was going to come back and shoot that jump hook and cause him to miss it.
I think Michael Dickerson likes the desert.
I hope so, because he's definitely starting off hot.
Points already, 3 of 4 from the floor in 6 minutes of action, and a timeout taken by Phoenix as the Memphis Grizzlies lead by 5, 19-14, 5:53 to play in the first quarter. Gasol in his first NBA start early on, Hersey. 3 of 4 from the floor and 6 points, as well as taking a charge.
That's a great start for a guy who's never been in the starting lineup, but he's been active. His stroke is looking good, and this is what's going to surprise a lot of big guys in the West, his ability to knock down that long shot. He was only a couple of steps inside the three-pointer. So big guys are uncomfortable playing out there, so he'll get that shot a lot.
And speaking to some media members from Spain, of course, they were here for the first couple of weeks, not only of the season, but also at the tail end of training camp. And they said one of the reasons why Pau's numbers aren't spectacular as far as when you look at him, 11 points and then 5 rebounds a game when he played for FC Barcelona, is because he only averaged about 18 minutes a game. Said the head coach actually rotated players. So it's tough when you're only getting 18, 19 points or 18, 19 minutes a game to put up those big-time numbers.
You're exactly right. What was wrong with that coach? I mean, having a guy that talented playing him only 18 minutes.
The triple comes. Here's Dickerson for 3. He drills it.
That's the second 3 Dickerson's gotten tonight off the ball going into the inside. Memphis double team, and the Grizzlies having good rotation and finding him in the corner.
You think Scott Skiles is a little bit frustrated with his starting 5 because he has 5 players on the floor that did not start this game. Williams to Michael Dickerson.
This is Michael's breakout game, and let's hope he continues to do this. And I mean, they're looking for him. Great pass by Williams in transition.
Rogers, Sakalides, along with Judd Bushler, John Wallace, and Rodney Rogers, and Tony Delk. You can see the rock the full last 2:35. And that comes by Phoenix. It's Memphis basketball, and Brevin Knight will check in, replacing Jason Williams. How about this setup?
What an underhand pass. I mean, it takes a lot of touch and skill to be able to throw that pass off the dribble and throw it accurate. And Michael, you know he's going to go up and get it with 2 hands.
The double comes, Pau sets up outside. Too strong. Sakalides backs it down, and Delk comes away with it. 8-point advantage for Memphis early on.
I know Sakalides is thinking, Tony, will you get away from this ball? This is my rebound. The big guy, little guys aren't paid to rebound.
Brevin Knight on the dribble drive. Then a foul on John Wallace. A great start for the Grizzlies, shooting 64% coming in, shooting just 38%, and from three-point range, 25%. And Despite the fact that the Grizzlies shot just 34% against Dallas, they were in that game late.
They sure were, and the reason they were in it is because of one person, Lorenzen Wright, and just the rebounding. The front court has been extremely aggressive and active, using their quickness, getting to balls, and if you get that kind of effort out of those guys every night, you're going to put yourself in a position to win a lot of games. You just have to start knocking down shots in the fourth quarter.
Brevin Knight now 5 of 5 on the season from the free throw line. You see the turnover differential. That is huge early on. Rodney Rogers. Oh, that is strong.
Rodney Rogers is one of these guys that can start anywhere in the league, but I think he enjoys Phoenix so much and likes the organization and the system that he decides to stay here. I mean, he can shoot the three, and as you saw there, he can drive left-handed, so it makes him a little more difficult to guard.
Pau underneath. And Pau Gasol with 8 points. Rodney Rogers, former sixth man of the year in the NBA back in the 1999-2000 season. He'll hang on that perimeter. Dell has 4 points.
But the Grizzlies going to have to stay closer to Dell. That was good defense by Brevin, but Dell, he's looking at the basket every time he touches it. So you have to be very careful of not lingering too far off him, staying close to him, making him put the ball on the ground, which is his weakness. You want him to try to drive rather than shoot the jump shot.
2:59 to go first quarter, and the Grizzlies lead by 8. Rodney Rogers introducing Shane Battier to an NBA strongman move. Dozen already, 12 of the Grizzlies, 28 points. Dickerson needed a start like this because you know this, being a shooter and a great shooter, that when you start off hot, get that confidence and it just boils over.
You're exactly right, and for the team, this is exactly what they needed at this particular point. Is Michael to get hot, and you know the basket's going to look bigger for him. He's more aggressive now, so hopefully they'll continue to look for him.
Sakalaitis on the inside, second-year player from Greece. In the starting five has yet to return from the court. That tells you what Scott Skiles is thinking about his starting five.
You're exactly right. I mean, very unusual. That doesn't happen often to see a coach pull out the whole starting five early in the first quarter. But Scott was definitely unhappy.
Skiles, what he has talked about is just the effort on the defensive end. Brevin Knight hustles for it, touches it last. It's Phoenix basketball, 13 seconds on the shot clock.
And sometimes you have to do that to wake up your starters, to wake up your star players. Have them understand that you're not going to tolerate everybody just out there trying to score, that the game is played on both ends of the floor. You have to play defense.
One of the reasons why he is so frustrated. Right, climbs up and snares that board. Phoenix against Houston led 88-74 in their last game with 8:31 to go. They were outscored 30-12 down the stretch, and they lost in the last seconds of that game on a Moochie Norris 3.
Yeah, you definitely can't lose a game like that at home. I mean, it's nice to see Moochie hit a shot since that's a friend of mine. But I'm quite sure Scott Skiles wasn't glad to see it.
Right, in the circle, pops out, taps it up. That's what you get from Lorenzen Wright every single night.
And that's what this team is going to need, that kind of effort. And hopefully that kind of effort will rub off on everyone else. Realize that you have to play that hard in order to win.
Sidney Lowe has said it, Lorenzen has said it, Nick Anderson has said it, that this team doesn't have a big margin for error. There is just that slim margin that they have, and hustle becomes a key ingredient for their success as Dickerson heads to the free throw line. Let's take you back to a little Lorenzen screen.
Oh, great. I wish I had guys like that screen for me. But I mean, that's the little things that's gonna help this team get over hump and have them start winning basketball games. The big screens like that from the guy that's playing the best basketball now, setting up another player, good pass by the point guard in rhythm. You know, that's how the coaches draw it up on the board.
All right, we'll check out. And Ike Austin making his Memphis Grizzly debut, checks in. One of the reasons why Ike is in, because you have the size of Jake Sakalidis and also, of course, Rodney Rogers. Massenburg is in. Cut to the basket, and a good look by Rogers.
Little mix-up on the Grizzlies defense there, but Phoenix, you can tell that they've worked against zone traps because everyone got into their position and Wallace just flashed to the middle where somebody forgot him. Easy jump down the lane.
Wallace with 4 points. Here's Battier out on the wing. Finds Massenburg up top. Brevin Knight. Pass was low. Brevin off of his fingertips. Gets it back. Battier with 4 on the shot clock. Doesn't rattle in, and Phoenix has the board. 5-point game. Spin. Wallace. Tapped away by Battier.
What a block by Shea.
Wow. It does rub off. Battier and Lorenzen Wright, 2 guys that give it everything.
I mean, and he was up there. I mean, I don't think people realize how high Shane jumps. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what his vertical reach is, but early in this season, I've seen him block some shots and get some tip-ins that I've been surprised that he's gotten to.
Come on, John.
As our producer, Randy Stevens, just said, he jumps as high as he needs to get it done. He is definitely more athletic than people give him credit for, as Brevin has all 4 of his points from the free throw line. When he was in some pre-draft situations, they have a drill called Superman, where they lay balls down on the block and you have to continually dunk them, and he won that contest as Tony Delk knocked down that jumper, beating Jason Richardson. And at the close of the first quarter, Brevin Knight drive, floater, knocked away by the Suns. And at the end of one, the Grizzlies lead 33 to 28. And one of the main reasons why the Grizzlies hold on to this first quarter lead as we head to the second, Michael Dickerson, feeling it from the outside, has 13 points early. We're back with the start of the second quarter, and we're from the floor. Jerry Colangelo, I think, felt that he was going to be able to get that championship in the Valley of the Sun with the Phoenix Suns. Battier stripped, but he got it with the Diamondbacks first. And Boston, of course, they beat the Phoenix Suns in 1976, and Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls beat the Suns in 1993 in the NBA Finals. And after 33 years waiting for a title, he got one, but with a baseball team.
Yeah, go figure. I guess as long as you get one and you have a ring. That's right. That's the most important thing.
Brevin Knight, Battier, Nick Anderson, Ike Austin, Tony Massenburg on the court for the Grizzlies. Takes it away from Knight. Ike getting back. And a foul on Brevin Knight for a bump. That's his first. It's a 3-point game. The Grizzlies led by as many as 10. And of course, this run has been put together by 5 players that started this game on the bench as Bushler tosses it in. Battier checks out. Michael Dickerson on the court for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, evidently Scott Skiles has been happy with the way the second unit has been playing. They've been in extended minutes now and are playing well. Tony Delk has it going. He's feeling it from the field. I don't think he's touched the rim yet on this shot. I think all of them have been all net.
Quick second quarter timeout taken by the Memphis Grizzlies, and you can see the run that has been put together by Scott Skiles and his Phoenix Suns with his second group. And so when your second group is playing like this, the first group is going to sit for a while.
You're exactly right. And the first group has to understand that when the second group has it going, let them play. Don't worry about the playing time. Ultimately, what you want to do is win the basketball game. So support them and let them keep playing. I mean, Tony Delk has it going. He's 4 for 4 from the field. feeling good. So, I'm quite sure they're going to continue to look for him. This is a guy that at one point, I think last year, he scored 53 points in a game.
He did against Sacramento, an Arco Arena record. Dickerson, as he inbounds the basketball, has outscored the starters for Phoenix 13-12.
That's why they're on the bench.
Nick Anderson from the outside, and Nick will he crack a little bit of a smile?
Okay.
No smile, so that means he called it.
I was looking to see. I have to check with him after the game.
Wallace backs him down. Wallace active. Wallace, in his 6th season in the NBA, has already been with 4 teams his best year, 1997-98, in Toronto. And he picks up a foul there. Wallace earns his 2nd. And Ford will check in. Alton Ford did not play in the last contest, and John Wallace will leave the action. Grizzlies by 2. Dickerson pops in and out. A rare miss for Dickerson on this night. Now 5-7. Delp. Anderson gets a piece of it on the floor. And a jump ball is called. Great hustle by Nick Anderson.
That is. I mean, and that's been the whole team tonight. I think this is the 3rd time I've seen guys on the floor scrapping for the basketball, and that's the effort this young team needs. I mean, Nick is in his 12th year, so to see him get down there and scrap for it, you know this team wants to win this game tonight.
So Nick Anderson will jump against Tony Delp. Delp 6'2", and Anderson, of course, has the size advantage at 6'6", 33 years of age, has played 12 years in the NBA, and this is 13th, and his first with the Grizzlies after 2 years in Sacramento. Played, of course, in Orlando with Penny Hardaway, the team that went to the NBA Finals in 1995, and also was a teammate of Scott Skiles. Reverend Knight. Bushler with a board. 2-point game, a chance to try to take the lead on a 3 for the Suns. Rogers. Bushler can knock it down from out there. Short, and Massenberg reaches up and snares it.
Massenberg quietly has been doing a great job off the bench. Just coming in, being consistent, and getting rebounds, blocking a couple of shots, but doing the little things to help the team win.
Take a look back at Michael Dickerson's move.
I like the aggressiveness there by Michael. I mean, with Judd Bushler on him, that's a move that he should be able to get all night. He made a couple of dribbles and got Judd stepping back on his back heels a little, so he was able to shoot the jump shot. But if Bushler decides to play up on him a little closer, Michael has the quickness to go around him. I think that's a matchup that the team can exploit, or when Michael gets his hands on the ball, really look at it and look to be aggressive.
Already tying his season high, has 15 of the Grizzlies' 38 points. 4-point game. Williams back on the floor for Knight. Short. And Massenberg another board. Here's Williams. Tempo will change. Austin. That's Ike's shot.
That is Ike's shot. That's one thing he can do is shoot that 16 to 18-foot shot. And if the defender's not there, Ike better shoot that ball.
His eyes light up when he sees it.
It sure does.
Down to 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Williams disrupts the flow of Bushler. And last cut by Phoenix is Memphis basketball with 8:26 remaining here in the first half, as the Memphis Grizzlies stretch that lead back out to 6, 40-34. And we'll be back with more of the second quarter from the Valley of the Sun after these messages. Grizzlies lead with 8:26 remaining in the second quarter. As we approach Thanksgiving, the Memphis Grizzlies encourage you to support Hoops for the Hungry during the upcoming homestand, November 12th against Golden State, the 15th against Portland, and the 17th against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Canned food items will be collected at the gates, with all donations benefiting the Memphis Food Bank. Also, everyone who makes a donation will receive a voucher for 50% off the purchase of Grizzlies tickets for selected games. Help the Grizzlies make Thanksgiving a little happier for those in need. Support Hoops for the Hungry starting November 12th against the Golden State Warriors. Always important to be involved, and those are good things, aren't they, Hersey?
Oh, you're exactly right. I mean, as an athlete, it's important to be involved in the community, making it better, and hopefully we know our players will be involved. Hopefully we'll get a lot of people in the community involved also.
Sun starters back on the court. Gugliana hands it to Marbury. Here's Marion inside to Voskuhl. The double comes. Anderson helps back outside. And Massenberg, another board. He has been all over the glass.
He sure has, and Massenberg is one of those guys. I mean, quiet guy, but goes out and gets his work done. Doesn't say much. The kind of player you like to play with.
Admired by his teammates for sure. Away by Marion. Googs comes away with it. Here's Hardaway. Penny, the spin. Sweet.
That's vintage Penny right there, coming down, surveying the floor, and just jumping over a guy getting that shot. I mean, and you really can't do anything about it. I mean, he has the ability to go right, to go left, and elevate and shoot the shot.
Williams back to Massenberg. Here's Anderson with 7 on the shot clock. Hardaway's first points, 4 on the shot clock. Ike stretches it out. Short. Another rebound. Second chance opportunity. Grizzlies by 4, 6:41 remaining here in the first half. Anderson. Eyes Austin. Great ball movement.
Great awareness by Nick to see that double team coming and to get the ball after double team quick. Every coach will tell you, don't wait till the double team gets to you. Get it out quick and catch the defense on the hill, then you can rotate the ball, and it's normally the guy in the corner that ends up with the shot.
Nick is like another coach on the floor for the Grizzlies. Here's Williams from the outside. Doesn't ring true. Pau back in along with Lorenzen. Williams a steal. Williams finds Pau running. 3 on 3. Sends it to Dickerson. Here's Wright. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Williams puts it on the floor. Oh, Jay Will doing that thing.
He faked me out. And I'm sitting over here. So I could imagine how the guy felt on the floor.
Every person in the arena, the eyes went away from Jason, expecting him to give it up. That is what makes him so special, the ability to do something like that.
For sure. Those are the things that you can't teach that Jason does so well.
Nick Anderson knocks it down, that straightaway look. Anderson has 6 points. 2 of 2 from the floor in 7 minutes of action. He is so happy to be in Memphis. Penny in the lane, will jump stop forward. Only 1 injury-free season for Penny as he saves it in the last 4, and that was a lockout season with 50 games played in 1999. Of course, 2-time first-team All-NBA player, 95 and 96. Voskuhl shows the hook once again. And Voskuhl has 8 points. But Penny, as you mentioned in the open, when healthy, so special. Timeout taken by the Grizzlies, a 5-point game. He can do so many different things that other players can't do. And speaking of that, how about Jason Williams? Timeout on the floor. Jason Williams, shot clock winding down, puts it on the floor. I'll give it to you. No, I don't think so.
We know.
A reminder, the Grizzlies move on to L.A. following tonight's game, where they'll face, yes, the Los Angeles Clippers. They'll be without Lamar Odom. And that game can be seen on Fox Sports South starting at 9:30 Central Time. And then a couple of nights later, we'll be back here on PAX 50 for the finale of the 3-game road trip. Yes, the Grizzlies take on Shaq and Kobe and the world champion LA Lakers. That's Friday night starting at 9:30. The Grizzlies and the Lakers on PAX 50. But tomorrow night, the season debut on Fox Sports South. Already into double digits. He has 10, the leading scorer. And you see the numbers from the second quarter. Lorenzen. And a technical foul is going to be called on Tom Gugliotta's. Tom Gugliotta picks it up, the defensive 3-second violation, and so Jason Williams will shoot the free throw. One of the new rules implemented. Yes, you can play zone, but you got to move in and out of the paint. And 3 seconds if you are not within an arm's reach of your man. So Williams extends the... unable to extend it. Here's right to Anderson. Deeply out of the weak side board.
Good pass to recognize Nick wide open there in the corner. And, you know, Nick, if he's open from behind the arc, he's going to shoot the basketball, and he should there. He was wide open.
7 on the shot clock. Gugliotta short. Lorenzen with the board.
Memphis has done a great job on the defensive end tonight.
Count it, and one.
Another great look by Jason Williams. And Pau was strong enough to get the and one, get the foul. Good look. Put it up left-handed. That's something I haven't seen out of Pau yet this year. He's able to finish left-handed, so he has the whole package.
Gasol from the free throw line has 11 points now. The Grizzlies 8 of 10 from the free throw line collectively. Grizzlies lead by 8. Marbury. No. Pau has it taken away by Vosco. What a great look underneath to Gugliotta after tearing down that board. That's about one thing and one thing only, just strength. And that will come in time.
You're exactly right.
Nick Anderson ripping the cords.
But the coaches, they love Vosco and what he's been able to add to their team. And when he first initially came here, they didn't think he would be a starter. But he just outworked the other two guys, so they had no choice but to put him into the starting lineup.
Marbury, the scoop shot. Phoenix shooting 57%, the Grizzlies 50%. 7-point game. Shot clock at 10. Too hard, right, an offensive board. And a fresh shot clock. Dickerson was hot early, hasn't attempted shot as of late. 5 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Nice find by Pau. And Nick drills it. Nick Anderson has a dozen.
But what I like what I'm seeing is the extra pass being made by the Grizzlies tonight. There are several guys that have had the shot, but have elected to throw the ball to another guy who was wide open, who was shooting the ball well, like Pau just did to Nick. He realized he had made 3 before that, passed it to him because he was high.
Nice cut by Gugliotta and Vosco finding him. Anderson short. Anderson here in the second quarter, 12 points. He's made them all from beyond the arc. Shawn Marion.
Now that Marion game, he's a slasher, a guy that puts it down 1-2 times or receive a pass like that and goes up quick and finishes.
Shawn Marion.
I mean, that's where he scores a lot of his points in transition, so you have to get back and find him.
From Clarksville, Tennessee. Oh, Volunteer State Field. And tonight's game, 3-second violation, of course, with Lorenzen and Penny. You know that. Tony Delk from Brownsville, Tennessee, 60 miles northeast of Memphis. And then, of course, Shawn Marion from Clarksville, Tennessee. Timeout on the floor. And the Grizzlies lead by 6. Pau! Here in Phoenix, the start of a 3-game road trip for the Memphis Grizzlies as Jason Williams is at the free throw line. Penny Hardaway taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Williams now with 5 points, and the Grizzlies are 9 of 11 from the free throw line. 1 of 2 in technical foul situations, both taken by Jason Williams. Top of the shot clock. Great feed by Pau, just a little bit too high. Under a minute to go. By Marbury.
Pass by Googly. He was up there. He just lost the basketball.
He did. He can't believe it.
I mean, this is what a great pass. That was a play that had to be drawn up
Right.
out of the timeout, and good execution by Phoenix on that play.
And the officials, and correctly so, saying that the ball touched the rim, which it did, so a recycled shot clock. Kenny trying to post up Dickerson. Dickerson ties him up, and so Hardaway will jump against Michael Dickerson. Dickerson, of course, played at the University of Arizona. Number 5 all-time scoring in the history of the Wildcat program. Played for the legendary coach Lute Olson, 1,791 points. Dickerson bats it. Gasol comes away with it. Battier doesn't get the rim, and Booz is there. Marbury in the corner. Penny drills it.
Penny Hardaway's looking real comfortable out there. Every time he touches the ball, he's looking at the hoop. He's looking to make things happen. After a slow first game, he seemed to have found his rhythm.
Coming off of 31 points against Houston, 13 of 23 shooting. Jake Voskuhl picks up the foul. His second. Penny 3 of 4 from the floor in 13 minutes of action. Battier. 5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dickerson spin move. Pau has it stripped by Gugliotta. And that ends the first half. The Grizzlies lead 57-52 to close out the first half here, the Valley of the Sun. So the Grizzlies head to the locker room, leading by 5 over the Phoenix Suns. Grizzlies shooting 46% from the floor. Phoenix shooting 59% from the floor. We'll have a halftime show right after these messages. Basketball over only 6 times. All right, when we come back, we'll have, how about that? Pau showing some strength as 13 points.
Just like he started the game. Sidney Lowe started the game going to foul, and he starts the third quarter right back to him on the post to get the big guy going, and he knocked down this shot to start. Good start.
Gugliotta sets a screen. Pick and roll. Here's Hardaway. 7 on the shot clock. Merriam in the lane collects the points.
Good pass by Hardaway, and Merriam, such a quick jumper that once he gets up in the air, you're not going to block the shot. You just hope he misses it, and that's his range there. He's going to knock down most of those, that 10 to 12 foot range.
4 of 7 from the floor, 8 points. Pau going to the bucket. Gasol, new career high, 17 points here, making 15 points early here in the third quarter. And Wright has his 8th board.
Good pump by Vasco, good pump fake, but you like the move because Vasco, he understands what his range is. He was open with the jump shot, but he's not a jump shot shooter, so he dribbled the ball, got in a little closer.
Battier. And last touch by Gugliotta. Memphis basketball, 7 on the shot clock.
It doesn't surprise me to see Battier on the floor.
No.
I mean, he just stays on the floor, hustling, getting loose balls.
triggers it in. Williams for three. Doesn't register. Here's Hardaway. And Pau fouls Tom Gugliotta. And Gugliotta will head to the free throw line.
Good pick and roll and transition by Gugliotta and Hardaway. Two veterans just getting together in transition and knowing how to play basketball to get one another a shot.
Gugliotta returned last season from a devastating knee injury that included 2 ruptured ligaments, another damaged ligament, and cartilage damage in his left knee. Then late last season, he injured his left wrist, which required off-season repair. Member of a Western Conference All-Star team when Stephon Marbury was his point guard in Minnesota. And Gugliotta, injuries have limited him over the course of the last couple of years. He has had some stellar seasons in the NBA.
He sure has. I mean, Gugliotta has always been a presence inside, but then he developed that outside shot to go along with that, which made him even more dangerous.
61-57 on that last bucket. Sidney Lowe will use a timeout, a 20-second timeout after Marion drills it. And Marion into double digits along with Bosco. You see Sean Marion at work. You always think about what Marion can do on the inside, but if he can get this shot to go down consistently, you have to really respect that and come out hard on him.
You're exactly right, and that's when he's, like you say, he's going to really be dangerous. But then he's going to have the ability to pump fake, put the ball on the ground, and then go to the hoop. And he's such a quick jumper that, you know, by the time you think about it, he's dunking the basketball. So, right, if he develops that outside shot, then he's going to be an all-star.
He is young, just 23 years of age. Marbury just 24. Jake Sakalidis just 22. Marbury's been around despite his age. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Valier, has it disrupted by Marbury. Oh, great find by Pau Gasol. And a right heads to the free throw line. As things broke down, the Grizzlies were able to find each other.
They sure were. And Pau, I mean, has been passing the ball for minutes tonight. It's a shame staying with it after 3, but 3 stuns around him, still comes up with it. Pau gets it, and Pau recognizes and sees the floor so well. He had 3 assists in the first half, and you know he's a great big man, well, great passing big man.
Lorenzen Wright, 7 points, 13 of 17 against Dallas, career highs in free throw attempts as well as 3 free throws made against the Dallas Mavericks. He gets both. He has 8 points. 63-57. Penny from the baseline, pops in and out. Dickerson collects the board. Here come the Grizzlies.
Good box out by Michael. And Sidney Lowe gave the Suns a little different look after the free throw with the half-court trap to disrupt the offense a little and throw them out of their rhythm.
Marbury. Williams throws quickly on Gugliotta. What a find to Marion underneath. Marion has a dozen. 6 earned in the first half.
That's the one dangerous thing about this Phoenix team is most of the guys, the 4 guys out there that play on the perimeter are such good passers that if they cut, they're going to find each other. So you have to be aware of every guy while you're playing them.
Phoenix still shooting close to 60%. Penny Hardaway to Gugliotta. Batted away. Battier. Williams. Lead pass.
Oh, the 7-footer running the floor. Real graceful.
Big night for Pau. Pau with 17 points. And on the floor for these minutes, 20 in fact, because Stromile Swift injured his left ankle, sprained it. This morning at shoot-around, going up for a rebound, he landed on the foot of Lorenzen Wright. Right, high, low, Pau. Triple team, count it, and one. 19.
What a catch, and then the finish with everybody on him. Good high-low, good pass by Lorenzen. And then you have 3 stuns all over him. And he still has the concentration to knock that shot down.
Pau with 19 points, now 20 points. Gasol 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 9 of 11 from the float. Taking advantage is Sidney Lowe with this final interior pass by Marbury. Going back to my statement of Sidney taking advantage of this lineup, because without Sakalitis on the floor and Rodney Rogers, the strength isn't necessarily there on the inside, the muscle, so they continually have shown Pau Gasol against Vasco.
You're exactly right, and what Pau can offer you in that particular matchup is he's good enough with his back against the bucket where he can make moves and get a shot. But as you saw there, he can also face up and take 1 or 2 dribbles because Vasco's not quick enough to keep him in front of him. So Sidney's doing a great job of exploiting that matchup, and she's going to keep going back to it.
Showing it there, right. Goog spins back. Double momentarily came right. Posting up Gugliotta. The hook off the glass.
That's another matchup that I think Sidney can go to, and he's recognized that without the ball, like I said earlier, with the big guys on the floor now, they can't stay with our big guys, with big guys.
Marion. And Dickerson gets called for the foul. And Dickerson earns his first. You see the team fouls this evening. And Marion heads to the free throw line. Marion 2 of 5 in the season from the free throw line. Has 13 points. A year ago, he led the Suns in points and rebounds, 17.3 points and 10.7 rebounds as he gets both. That was 8th best in the league.
You know, I'm surprised that Marion hasn't been to the line a lot more than that earlier this season. You'd think a guy that's a slasher and likes to get to the hole would have a lot more free throw attempts. So, you know, that's only saying that he's avoiding contact when he's getting in or he's shooting a lot of jump shots.
Williams for 3, short. And a foul on Lorenzen Wright. There's Stromile Swift. Injured his left ankle this morning. Listed as day-to-day. Like us all. I see what he has done this season. 13 points and 8 rebounds. Wright earns his first. Williams takes it away from Hardaway. On the break, Dickerson. Put back by Lorenzen Wright. No foul called.
Dickerson was grabbed on that. The referee not see the foul.
And Battier takes a charge.
Luckily it worked out for him. Lorenzen was hustling down floor and got the rebound and put it back in. But the referee has to see that and make that call.
Right. Into double digits. Expanding it now up to 12. Shane Battier with a bandage right underneath his right knee. It won't be the first time that we see Shane with bandages the way he plays. Foul on Jake Vasco. His third. Timeout on the floor, and the Grizzlies lead 72-63, 5:54 to go in the third quarter. The follow by Lorenzen Wright. Dickerson misses right there.
Deck the halls
For all 15 Grizzly points here in the third quarter. Powell's got 9 of them, Hawk.
Well, we have the Pau Gasol show the third quarter. Nice jump hook there. Then using his quickness to get by the front layup. And how many teams would love to have a 7-footer to do this? Block the shot on one end and then dunk it on the other. I mean, that's just great hustle and athletic ability. And then taking the brunt of the Phoenix defense, taking the bump, putting it in, going to the line, knocking down the old-fashioned three-point play.
20 points, 3 assists, 9 of 11 shooting. Powell at the free throw line. He is 2 of 2 there. And the first does not go in, 72-63. The Grizzlies by 9, their largest lead, 10 in the first half. And Powell, it doesn't fall, so it doesn't match that total.
I think Powell has to realize when he's on the free throw line, to stay in there. Don't back away from the line. I think by the time that ball hit the hoop, he was backing away from it.
Marion not backing away, has 16 points. He has a tendency to drift on that free throw.
Yes, and for him to be such a good shooter, that's something that, he'll have to work on it. He'll get better with it.
Powell, 22 points. Battier with a pump fake pass, and then he finds Gasol waiting for him to get into position.
Good pass. And it was all set up by Jason Williams. Seeing the trap and just throwing the ball. That's the best way to beat a trap. Throw it all the way over.
Marbury on the inside. Marbury's been held in check. A little bit more muscle now on Powell with Rodney Rogers on the inside along with Gugliotta. Right, working over Rodney Rogers.
What a move by Lorenzen. Showed him the basketball. Got Rogers off balance and came back to that jump hook, which is his favorite shot.
Another double-double by Lorenzen Wright. 14 points and 10 rebounds. 4th straight game that he has done that.
I don't think that's surprising us much anymore, is it, man?
He's going to average a double-double this season. Foul committed by Lorenzen Wright.
I mean, this is, Coach will tell you, when people trap, you just throw it all the way over. That's the best way to beat the trap. If you have a guy in the open and he passes down to Shane knew Powell was there, pump faked it, like I said, then threw the pass, and Powell at 7 foot. Dunks it in.
So one of the things that he is not afraid of is working down low on the inside as Jason Williams is on the bench for the Grizzlies. Appears to be all right. A quick visit by Scott McCullough, the trainer. Brevin Knight in for Jason Williams. Dickerson. He can pass. Last touch by Phoenix. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
He sure can. And most European players can pass the ball and are good at that, and Powell's no different. But what's different about Powell is most European players don't like all the contact, but he will go down there and battle you, take the bump and hits, and still be able to finish. So I like to see that out of him.
One of the greatest passers in the history of the game at that center position. Pass ripped off by Penny. Here's Marbury. That's what they came here to see.
You're exactly right. And Marbury noticed Marion trailing him. As soon as he got the basketball, you could see that he was going to make that pass.
18 for Marion. Getting back to a great passer at the center position, Arvydas Sabonis, a Lithuanian who played many years in Portland. And he came here after his prime.
Oh, you're exactly right. And I didn't get to see him in his prime, but I've heard that he was just an incredible basketball player. And even after all the injuries, he was still effective at what he does. Like you said, great passer, shot the ball well from the perimeter, and it doesn't help to be 7-2.
Turnover, and then the other way, and a foul on Michael Dickerson. And a timeout on the floor. It's a 6-point game with 3:41 to go in the third quarter. Sean Marion. Sean Marion. With 3:41 remaining in the third quarter. Phoenix starting to make a little bit of a run. Don't forget the Grizzlies will return to the Pyramid on Monday night to take on Antoine Jameson of the Golden State Warriors. It's the first of 3 straight home games, including visits from Portland and Cleveland. That's the Warriors versus the Grizzlies Monday at 7. For single game tickets, call 1-800-4-NBA-TICKS. Marbury at the free throw line. And Marbury, good with the first, has 7 points, 7 assists, averaging 21.5 points, coming off of a performance at 27 points. Second does not go. Gasol here in the third, 11 points. Lorenzen, 8 points. Marion has a dozen for Phoenix on 5 of 6 shooting. 5-point game. Nick Anderson checks in, the cut to the bucket, finds Battier. Battier drills the 3.
Well, that was a much-needed basket there. Good awareness by Nick to find Shane there in the corner. And Shane, I think that's his spot now. In the corner, if you find him open in the corner for 3, he's going to knock it down.
Comes and Rodney Rogers just so strong on the inside.
Yeah, that was just pure strength there. And I think he had knocked everybody off balance, so he was able to jump and tip it in before everybody else even got off the floor.
Right open. Too strong. Tapped up by Pau. Second chance opportunity for the Grizzlies.
Good awareness to throw the ball back out and set something up and run a play to get a good shot.
Anderson guarded tightly by Hardaway. They're trying to set something up for Nick. And Battier's finding his stroke. Battier drills it, has 8 points. See what the Grizzlies have done from beyond the arc. 8 of 17 coming in, shooting just 25% from three-point land. And a foul on Brevin Knight.
That's not like a Phoenix team to be 0 for 3 from three-point range. Over the years, Phoenix has always surrounded, have always had on their team a lot of good three-point shooters. But I guess Marley's hurt and Vinny Del Negro's not in, so that is contributing to it a little. But normally they're a good three-point shooting team.
Chocolidis is first. Phoenix as a team shooting 80% from the free throw line. However, their attempts per game, the 4th lowest in the NBA, and this evening just 8 of 11 from the floor. In fact, their opponents coming into tonight have made 92 more free throws than the Suns have attempted. And the second works for Jake Chocolidis.
And I think that can be attributed, Matt, to most of their scores are perimeter players. Hardaway, Marbury, Marion. Those guys don't go to the bucket much and draw fouls, so you're not going to shoot a lot of free throws if your game is perimeter oriented.
Zone shown by Phoenix, and Anderson trying to exploit it. Nick has had a big quarter. Marbury on the dribble drive. Hardaway, short. Brevin Knight gets fouled.
In the penalty, fouls number 34, Rodney
Rogers picks up the foul. Nick Anderson had such a huge second quarter and was unable to connect there as Brevin Knight heads to the free throw line.
But I like the shot. When you've had a good second quarter and you're hot, when you get open, you can have a good look at the basket. You have to take the shot. See if you feel hot.
Brevin misses the second one. Knight, all 5 of his points earned at the free throw line. He is 5 of 6. 1:20 to go, third quarter, and the Grizzlies lead 83-75. Brevin gets a piece of it. It's Phoenix basketball, and Tony Delk checks in. Delk has been sitting now for quite some time. And Delk had 8 points in 11 minutes of action in the first half.
Hopefully that cooled him off by sitting down over there. Wow, because he came in aggressive and was feeling good. So you're right, he has been over there a while.
Of course, coming off of strained right calf, you can see how it's wrapped. Hardaway for three.
And that's a sign that Hardaway is feeling good and that he's confident about his game. Because he missed the three on this side of the floor and then came right back, and it was like the Grizzlies dared him to take that one, and he took it and drank it.
Pau misses. Massenberg, no. Pau is first miss here in the third quarter. Here's Hardaway, catch and shoot. Watch out.
When he starts knocking down the three, he's unstoppable. He's pretty close to unstoppable anyway, but
Nick Anderson setting up Sean Marion. Hardaway has 12 points.
I mean, the three or making the outside shot sets up everything else, particularly in Hardaway's game, because if you want to give him anything, it's the outside shot. And if he starts knocking those down, you're pretty much at his mercy.
Nick Anderson heads to the free throw line. Anderson, 13 points now coming off of the bench. This is exactly the productivity that the Grizzlies need coming off of the bench, and Nick, as you know, is certainly happy to supply it. He has 14 points. He's so pleased to be in Memphis. Baseline, Marion. Sakalidis, no, taken down by Massenberg.
This is good rebound. Now we get to play for the last shot of the quarter.
7 seconds remaining now in the third. Massenberg, double, loses it. Too strong. And at the end of three, the Grizzlies lead by 4, 85-81, as they are in search of their first win of the season. Penny Hardaway shooting Phoenix back into it. Pau was huge in the third. He's having a huge night, 22 points. But Marion emerged in the quarter as well. And the quarter, an 8-3 run, start of the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies lead 85-81. As you take a look at the numbers after three, a couple of things really stand out. Obviously, three-point shooting and trips to the free throw line, but also the ability to handle the basketball, just 9 turnovers.
You're exactly right. Memphis has done a great job tonight of taking care of the basketball, passing it around, finding the open guys, and shooting the ball well.
Gasol commits his second as Sakalidis heads to the line to shoot 2.
It's so difficult to guard the pick and roll against a guy like Penny. Because he's so big, he sees over most guards, so he's able to just throw it over them. And he's also good enough where if you don't play him tight, he can knock down the outside shot. So, I mean, practically a perfect player to run the pick and roll with because of all the things he can do.
And when Penny is in the lineup, Phoenix is good, 45-23 over his tenure here. His third season in Phoenix. Showing zone is Scott Skiles.
Yeah, I think Memphis is in such a good groove offensively that Scott tried to do something to break up the rhythm. And the last 4 or 5 possessions down, he's gotten into the zone.
That's huge right there. Phoenix grabs the lead. Can the Grizzlies respond? Last touch by Phoenix. It's Memphis basketball.
I like the fact that Nick is out there now and Tony Massenberg, 2 veterans who can hopefully calm the guys down through this run and not panic and just get good shots up. All you need to do is get a shot up, get something up there, and hopefully it'll go in. But don't turn the ball over at this point.
8 on the shot clock. Pau, short corner. Short. Marion with the board. First lead since back in the first quarter. Hardaway. The double came to Penny, And Rodney Rogers, an air ball. Nick Anderson did a great job on Tony Delk. Instead of going for the basketball, he just kind of slid over like one step, make sure that Tony stayed away from it.
Yeah, and Tony got him a little horseback ride there. See, if he did that to me, I'm on injury reserve. Nick's strong enough to handle that.
Memphis trying to reclaim the lead. 8 on the shot clock. Battier guarded by Marion. Now steps outside. Short.
I like the last 2 shots by him. But what he's done is he's faded away on both shots. Instead of staying with it, he has a tendency of fading away on this shot.
Foul on Pau. And a timeout taken. When we come back, Hardaway will be at the line.
Tomorrow.
85. He's got all the moves. Check that out right there. He's showing everything he's got.
Oh yeah, that's in an NBA video coming to your store soon.
You have moves like that, don't you?
I hope they'll look better than that, man. Come on.
Nick Anderson, more than likely, will be on the floor for the remainder of the game because Michael Dickerson is out possibly for the next 10-21 because of a groin pull. And they'll certainly miss his shooting. 15 points, all in the first half, 5 of 8 shooting. As Penny doesn't get it from the free throw line. That second attempt. Hardaway has 13. Anderson sends it tonight. Down the shot clock.
Scott Fowles has decided to change up the defense again. Now he's gone back to man to man to disrupt them again, figuring probably Sidney Lowe had drawn something up for the zone out of the timeout. He changed it up again.
2-point advantage for Phoenix. 7 on the shot clock. And last touch by Rodney Rogers. Good job by Pau of coming back to the basketball. 6 on the shot clock as Sidney Lowe calls out the set. Nick Anderson in the corner. Too strong. Battier tied up with Jake Sakalidis. It's a jump ball. Just a little bit too strong from Nick. As Lorenzen Wright gets set to check back in for the Grizzlies, replacing Tony Massenberg, and the Grizzlies trailing by 2.
Yeah, but Nick is looking at the basket, and the Grizzlies are in a little drought here, so you need somebody to be aggressive to step up and make shots for you, and Nick is trying to do that. So you can't fault the shots, and there are shots that he can hit.
Tap won by Memphis. Jason Williams back on the 8th. 1993, 02 to go. Williams. Here's Pau. 22 on the night. And Rogers a long rebound, and Penny runs the point. Marion.
Once an offensive player gets that advantage and that ball moves, they pretty much have you on the screen, and that's exactly what happened there. Phoenix, 3 or 4 other guys just penetrated, kicked another guy until they came up with a good shot.
Back in the zone are the Phoenix Suns, and a foul. Sakalidis, his first foul. And the Suns lead by 4. 89-85 with 9:07 to go. You see the drought that the Grizzlies have experienced over the last 3:20. Battier with 3 on the shot clock. Tries to force contact. Penny runs the baseline curl, finds Sakalidis, and he gets fouled. And And the foul.
Fouls over 16, Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol picks up the foul.
Penny has definitely not lost his ability to see the floor and to see when guys are open. I mean, you can tell they're coming off that screen. He knew he was going to be open, so he just passed and caught it, and all the big guys to do is finish it.
Sakalidis at the free throw line executes the first. Powell picks up his fourth.
What luxury for Scott Skiles to be able to have three guards that are interchangeable, and Delk, Hardaway, and Marbury both having the ability to play the 1 and the 2.
Yep.
So whoever has it going, you can run them off the screens and have the other guy play the point. So that's what's going to make this team so difficult to guard, because of those three guys being able to play both positions.
Great point. Williams responds with a three. With Phoenix set up in that zone. It's a 3-point game, 91-88. 8:19 to go, fourth quarter. Rogers on the near side. Marion, the up fake. And Hardaway was thinking about going up with the shot and off of his left hand and out of bounds.
He's exactly right. He was a little excited there. Knew he was open. Was ready to shoot it, but what does the coach tell you always? Catch the ball with two hands and shoot it.
Catch and shoot. Williams behind the back, Lorenzen right, and it rolls in.
What a pass by Jason Williams. I mean, it was a great pass, but I mean, at this time in the game, the ability to be able to throw that pass accurately and straight to a cutting Lorenzen who finished it.
Supreme confidence by Jason Williams.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't lack in confidence.
Anderson, dead on.
There we go.
Nick Anderson, straightaway look, and the Chicago native knocks it down. Anderson, coming alive off of the bench, has 17 points. And the Grizzlies regain the lead, 93-91, as they are in search of their first win of the season, coming right at you. Tonight, and the Grizzlies grab a 2-point lead.
I mean, what a pass there to have the ability and the guts to throw it behind your back and to complete that pass. I was thinking about my 13 years in the NBA, and I'd be willing to bet you I made probably 5 behind-the-back passes in 13 years. That's because I didn't have the confidence to do it, but Jason does, and he's very accurate at it.
You see the differential in three-point shooting. The Grizzlies 10 of 22. Out of time for the turnover for Phoenix. Powell, double, Powell puts it on the floor, puts up the shot, doesn't go right off it. Rebound and foul from behind. Great work by Wren.
Great hustle by both big guys on that particular play. Powell had four Phoenix Suns around him, but he was determined to get that shot off. And that's a perfect opportunity for Lorenzen, who just stepped in on the weak side. No one was going to blocking him out to get the rebound and draw the foul. Hopefully knock 2 down from the line.
2 of 2 from the free throw line. 16 points and 13 rebounds, and now 17 points and 13 rebounds. The first free throw attempt for the Grizzlies here in the fourth quarter. Suns scored the first 10 points of the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies lead by 3. The Grizzlies have scored the last 9 points, including Lorenzen's 1 of 2 trip at the free throw line. The Grizzlies showing some zone.
Love's going to get Scott Skiles a little taste of his own medicine here.
Marion. Here's Delk. Marion has come alive in the second half.
The one thing about a zone when you decide to run it is the players have to keep the ball out of the middle. If you don't keep the ball out of the middle, it breaks down the whole zone. And that's exactly what happened there. Tony was able to penetrate the middle and kick to Sean, who then made a quick dribble and score.
Penny, crossover, pulls up, over Pau Gasol, got it. Hardaway has 15, and Phoenix snatches the lead back by 1, 95-94, with 6:15 to go here in the fourth. Phoenix has just one win this season against Golden State. They have struggled out of the gates. Williams. Entry pass batted away by Rodney Rogers. It's Memphis basketball as Stephon Marbury replaces Tony Delk. And Delk, productive minutes. And Marbury, 24 minutes, 7 points, 7 assists. Delk off of the bench, 18 minutes, 11 points, and 4 assists.
Yeah, everyone in the backcourt for Phoenix tonight is contributing, shooting the ball well, and playing solid. And Hardaway, the big second half, that's what allowed them to get back into the game.
2 on the shot clock. Doesn't fall. And Hardaway tracks it down. 1-point game. Suns with the advantage. Marbury in the lane. Pull up. Rogers. No. Duncan right, another rebound. Williams pushing. Vanier misses. But it's goaltending. That is why he missed. And so Vanier hands Memphis the lead.
What a pass by Jason Williams. I think Hardaway thought he was going to try to throw the ball up for the lob, but then he threw it down for the quick skip pass and got it through there.
Great interior defense by Nick Anderson as Anderson strips it away, unable to hold on to it. 96-95 Grizzlies. Rodney Rogers has the correct spin on it.
There are very few guys that can make that pass from out of bounds. And you know, Scott Kyle does a great job of putting Hardaway out there, probably one of your best passes to ignite your out-of-bounds offense. It's a good pass.
Hardaway going against his former teammate Nick Anderson. Orlando misses. And Pau with the board and hands it off to Williams.
I think Nick played him perfect there. And I think Nick knows his game, but when you have Hardaway in transition when he's on the perimeter, you want to push him right. He prefers to go left. He's a lot better, a lot stronger at finishing when he's going left. When he goes right, more than likely he's going to shoot a jump shot. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tracked down by Marbury. Marbury pulls it back. Here's Hardaway. Williams guarding Hardaway. Up top, Marbury. Marion. Sitting out, and Anderson climbs up and grabs the board. Suns by 1. Under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Williams. The find to Lorenzen, and last touch by Phoenix. It's Memphis basketball. Deep in the post, Williams hands it off to Wright, but Phoenix touched it last, and Vanier will trigger it in, and Scott Skiles can't believe it. Anderson wants the foul call, doesn't get it. At the foul line, and a timeout taken by Sidney Lowe. And Sidney wants to have a conversation with the 3 officials about something called a travel. Mike Callahan, David Jones, and Jason Phillips didn't think so. You be the judge. Marion and the Suns lead by 3, 99-96, 3:39 to go.
He got next.
I went Gotta get him.
Discover a sensation as real as the streets. Mountain Dew Code Red.
Got it. Hardaway 15. Lorenzen with 17 and 14 rebounds.
Big possession here cross possession in a pick and roll. That's exactly what he does.
Williams sends it to Anderson with 3 on the shot clock. Doesn't go. Tapped up. Penny. Williams ties him up. And Hardaway will head to the free throw line.